And you mentioned when we first bounced a couple emails, you spoke about a bit about flag theory. Is that what led you towards Paraguay? And if so, you want to kind of create context about flag theory in general and how it worked for you?
Sure, absolutely. I'll just give a quick rundown of my background. So about 5 years ago, I was an American citizen through my mum. And people kept telling me, you have to pay taxes to the IRS. There's some sort of thing. And I'm like, that can't be right. And so I looked into it, and much to my horror, because although I was an American citizen, I'd spent basically my whole life in Australia. Apparently, I had all these obligations to the IRS, and there was all these incredibly scary potential repercussions that could happen if I wasn't compliant. And this was a real wake-up call for me, which led me to stumble upon, there's a content creator called the Nomad Capitalist, and he was talking about this concept called flag theory, which is basically, right, we're sort of raised patriotically that the one country that we're born in, regardless of what it is, can sort of provide almost all of our needs. Whereas I feel flag theory, what it does is it provides an alternative way of looking at the world and looking at, your citizenships and residencies. And it says, well, rather than putting all your eggs in one basket, what if you could have a collection of different relationships with countries, whether it's citizenships, residencies, bank accounts, places where you actually live, and pick and choose the best the world has to offer in regards to how you want to live your life. Now, in the end, unfortunately, I actually renounced my US citizenship, but it created that idea in my head that a citizenship isn't just something you're born with and you die with and it kind of stays the same. It can be like a forever something that's in flux, where you're always getting more citizenships or residencies and potentially renouncing them if they no longer fit you. And that's what led me down this path of flag theory, which eventually led me to Paraguay.
Fantastic. And for those who are not familiar with it, we do have an article about it on our website, hej.tax. So essentially, it's a term that was coined by this guy, I think his name is Harry Schultz, 1950s, 1960s. And it was used to more or less describe the idea that you don't have all your eggs in one basket and you live a diversified lifestyle. So where it is that you are a citizen is not necessarily where you're resident, is not necessarily where you operate your company, is not necessarily where you store your wealth, and it's not necessarily where you enjoy yourself. There could be 5 different flags or 5 different jurisdictions. And since then, some people have expanded that to 7 or 8 theories. I mean, it's not meant to be dogmatic. It's just a principle that you don't put all your eggs in one basket. You live a properly diversified lifestyle. And for some of our clients, so we deal with high-income earning clients, and for some of them, through perhaps not contemporarily, fortunately, but for them within their family, because they belong to certain groups that may have been persecuted in the past, they've seen situations where, their parents or their grandparents may have lost their wealth in, parts of Europe and parts of Southeast Asia. And so for them, it's not a theory, it's real. They know through their family, their stories, that it's good to have a healthy distrust of those in authority sometimes, and that may lead you to diversify yourself a bit. So it's interesting that philosophy has led you to explore your options.
So if you're a 6, 7, or 8-figure investor, entrepreneur, or business owner who needs a tailor-made solution from a qualified team of professionals, we can help you achieve the international lifestyle, the freedom, and even the tax savings you're looking for. Visit us at htj.tax and live that international life.